So, we're going to have quite the little conversation this evening. Don't you go no place. So there are those scholars, Richard Dawkins and Carl Sagan among some, two among a few, who assert that basically God is unnecessary and things of spirit are a fabrication by unscientific fools that don't know any better and need to be enlightened by masters such as Mr. Dawkins and subscribe to his brilliant wit and give him the appropriate hand jobs and Porsches and stuff that, you know, as an eminent what is it, an eminent evolutionist, I believe is a scientific term for his discipline. Now, how do you get to be an evolutionist? Well, you study other people's theories about evolution. Now, you need to understand that these people's theories are fractured and fabricated, and what you're trying to do is make yours senior to theirs. That's the sort of the goal of philosophy and philosophers throughout recorded time, anyway. So, we have this issue, this question. Is there such thing as spirit? And if there is such a thing, what does it do? Can it be measured? Is it something that everyone has or is capable of having, or is it only in rare individuals or those chosen for special duties, shall we say? Now, let's begin with our own hypotheses, if you will, can we? Alright, so let's imagine you're God. And if you're God, you're at least as smart as me. Can we say this? Okay, now, what would you want most from creatures that you created out of mud and clay with an inbuilt propensity to spirit in them? I mean, if I were God, and I'm sure if you were God too, you would want these beings free from extraneous encumbrances so they could enjoy the fruits of adoration and worship. Not only you, but each other. But the deal is, they can't get to worship each other save through you, because the conduct of worship requires God for it to exist. Otherwise, everybody's gerbils and fools. Or, as Sigmund Freud would have it, polymorphous, perverse by age 3, with no hope of ever any kind of elevation whatsoever. That's it. At the end, you tossed into a little can, popped into the ground, end of story. Bob's your uncle. Goodbye, Charlie. That's how it is, because that's scientific. It's measurable. Now, like love itself is not scientific. Can we say this? I mean, do we need to have a debate on this issue, or can I allow that to rest as a foregone conclusion? Love does not concern itself with science, nor does God particularly. So it would follow then that if this worship were a function of spirit and love are a function of spirit and spirit are not a function of mud itself. Elephants have no ethical conundrums, nor do tigers, lions, or fish. Apparently fish fuck all the time. I didn't know this. Fish are wanton creatures. Anyway, I thought they had sort of a season, but I'm not a fish expert, so I didn't know. Anyway, I'm informed fish like to fuck all the time. People have them in their tanks and they do it regularly. But fish generally fuck the same species. You don't find too many catfish fucking perch. You don't find too many bass fucking pike. That would be like people fucking donkeys, right? I mean, like, you know. So in the animal kingdom, it doesn't happen much. You won't find too many steers humping goats. You can't find some male or female cows, you know. They're stuck. So love would be something that man is not able to create, but is something he's able to participate in. And the avenue to love and the avenue to God are both through intuition. Can we say this? Like there's no manual for how to find God or how to love another human being or love yourself. There's many efforts and manuals, but there's really, so far, has been no concrete slam dunk, you know, here you are, you know, here's your receipt. Here's God, thank you very much, you know, you got 30 days to return them. Or we get to keep your money, period. So, the thing is, you know, Richard Dawkins and Carl Sagan, I don't think have great love lives. Either one of those men. So I don't think they know much about love or spirit. Like they haven't really looked into spirit because it's unscientific to start with, so why bother? So they have no experience of what they speak, for starters. And both these gentlemen, blendedly, I'm not a scholar of either one, but I glanced cursory over some of their sayings and a few of the literary efforts that they've put forward. And basically, I'm disappointed on a number of counts. The first count being that the whole premise of their posture is based on the flimsiest posture that I've ever seen. Like Richard Dawkins' whole thing is, if evolution is true, then God can't be possible. That's like saying 119 scientists were wrong about 9 things, therefore science is valueless. Understand? Like, today you have people practicing disease management that don't have the weight of a wall-climbing slug between their ears. They're like bailiffs practicing medicine. Shopkeepers that are told what to do by head fucking office, their pharmaceutical brethren, and their pals in the government. Think of this. Bean counters in government are determining medical protocol. They're determining your relationship to your physician, and they're determining your physician's relationship to you. And you've got graduated physicians who are subscribing to this process like a novitiate nun does to Christ. With less than 1/100th the wit. Man. Like, these people practice biochemistry. They're supposed to be familiar with biochemistry, medicine, pharmaceutical protocols and likelihoods and contingencies. All kinds of challenges that man can find himself with, from snake bite to hepatitis, from stubbing your toe to AIDS. You have managers of disease that can help you prolong your agony through your disease. None of them can suggest how you can get healthy or stay healthy to start with so you don't have the disease to begin with, nor are they interested in this because there's no profit in that. Think about this. Everybody's healthy. What would the boys in the pharmaceutical industry do? What would your doctor do for green fees? A physician at one time was a humble profession. So was a clergyman, and so was king, actually. But somehow along the line, some dementia started setting in, whereby men no longer felt the need to notice the guilt they were stabbing themselves with, robbing their spirits of any type of intuition whatsoever, which is a requirement for love. Because I say so. Argue with this if you can. I'd love to debate the topic. Think about this. Intuition is a requirement for love, and intuition, breadth, strength, and power, if you will, is predicated on the gardening I do with my own integrity. Fertilizing the soil of my own integrity. My willingness to be unreasonable with myself first. If my country is in debt, and I know how they got that way, and also I know basically where a lot of that money went to. How much is a Scud missile going for these days, do you know? How much is 50 millimeter ammunition by the ton? Or each? I don't know how they buy it. I haven't really gone shopping for heavy armament recently. Imagine being so compromised that you have to buy a bulletproof vehicle to drive around in. You see, we don't offer another compromise at all. Benazir Bhutto's government was not free of corruption either, I'm led to believe. And so it's very difficult to be the stomach being pulled over by a drunken police officer. I'm not asserting that Benazir was by any stretch of imagination. But I can tell you that that will not be happening here. There will be no The integrity hair roots and grows flower. So, if I've got no integrity, I've got no intuition. If I got no intuition, I got no love. So I buy fiat love. I purchase my love on the internet. First of all, I confuse love with sex. And get that nice and handy into my spirit, some being somehow. I don't know how you do that. Anyway, it's very, very obvious that it's done constantly by millions and billions of people. So you confuse love with sex and you get all upset when everything changes and you know, nothing stays the same. Everything will stay the same in any domain ever anyway. And you see, if you don't have any spiritual congress, you don't know these things. Anytime a wind of fate comes along and tosses you overboard, you have no strength, no balls in your men anymore. They fight like women and lie and cheat, stab each other in the back. They're like cunts with dicks. They make me sick. Your politicians, your goddamn newspaper people, your doctors, lawyers. Fucking lawyers should be outlawed. Think of this. They're paid bugger humpers of the law. Who wants to live in a world where the law is available to be humped by 35,000 or 3,500 practicing liars? Paid practicing liars. Now the thing is, the rationale is, well, if you got competing liars, then truth washes out in the end. Well, it's far, far from the truth. Think about this. The President of the United States, I'm led to believe, was overridden by some governor in the state, I think it's the governor of the state of Florida, a Republican state, I believe. Tells the President of the United States, go fuck yourself. I'm killing this guy anyway. I'm executing him. The Republicans waltzed this gentleman down the garden path for years on end, knowing full well what the answer is going to be in the final analysis. Sorry, Mr. President, we just can't afford your health care thing. We's broke. We got all the money. The government's broke. Now, we're not here to originate another fraud. We're here to de-originate the one that's in existence currently. End the evil, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes, this is going to happen. So, you can go to war with us. Resist the truth. Probably for another 100 yards or so, before you're going to find that you come to a goddamn brick wall that's going to stop you. And then you're not only going to have to deal with the truth, but then you're going to have another moat to get over as well as that. Or ignoring it when it comes and slaps you in the face. The universe always gets rougher. Very, very useful to develop subtle listening for the truth. In my own heart, with regard to myself first. No other way to do this. Know thyself. It's not a suggestion. It's a requirement now. This is the last day. It's been going on for some time. And it's going to continue until it's done. There is no way around, underneath, beside, on top of this issue. It's called the King's Barf. And it's a requirement. If you're imaginative and you're sentient, this is a requirement of you by your God, basically. Begin it as soon as you can. All of it. Nothing left behind. It's like an abscessed tooth. You don't want to leave no part of that tooth hanging around. Otherwise, you're going to have to reopen it up and go back in and get what you left. This is the roadmap to the promised land. I am your king. I'm here to welcome you home. Please, choose.